Now I know for certain I'm not the only one in this situation. Every time you go to the petrol station, you put the fuel in and you think, oh no, the tyres are okay. And then you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're like, oh, something is a bit wrong here. Then you've got to go through the palaver of getting the pump out, sorting out the pressure. Whereas if you knew way back when that there was something a bit of an issue, you could have fixed it. The fancy bikes have got all those little pressure sensor things so that they can monitor their pressures. But if you've got a normal bike like this one, it doesn't come installed with that. So what I want to do, I want to get myself one of those sensor pressure things fitted on here so that I too, with my humble little Honda, I can also keep track of the pressures in my tyre for two things. One, I don't get caught out in the middle of nowhere, and two, if it's got a bit of a slow leak, I know long beforehand that something's a bit askew rather than being stuck out there and then I've got to go through this whole palaver of pumping up the tyre in the middle of nowhere. What I've got here is a Chigee G3 tyre pressure monitoring system. I've never had one of these on a bike before, so even for me this is going to be quite an interesting thing to do. These seem very popular, so let's take it back home, lay it all out on the garage table, have a look to see what's included. We'll go through the installation process and then we'll take it for a ride afterwards and see how it gets on. All right, let's have a look and see what is inside the box. First things we come to is the instructions. I'm sure we're going to need that just now to work out how to connect everything together, but that's the first thing we've got. And then under that, staring at us in the face, is the little display unit. That's very nice. Doesn't feel too plasticky. That's okay. This is the black one. I think there's a whole load of colors that you can get. Then we've got the sensors that go on your actual valves. That's straightforward. And then underneath we've got a whole load of mounting options and a few tools so that you can stick it on your bike. And then the last thing, the charging cable. It looks like there's a magnetic section here at the end of it so that you can charge it. Yes, that looks like that. So there is the charging cable. So that's everything that is in the box. Inside this bag you get this lot. So starting over here we've got a tool, and having had a little bit of a play, this jagged tooth fits on the end of here, so it lines up there. So that part of the spanner is to tighten up this one, and this part of the spanner is to tighten up that one, and those two live together. So these nuts live with the valves. So I guess in theory this should stay with you on your bike, otherwise you can't do that, but I'll come to that later. So that spanner lives with that little collection there. We've also got some Allen keys, and I see there's an Allen key on here, so that's what that one must be for. The sticky mounts so that you can use your action camera mounts if you don't already have some of those. And then the last one is, this is a little tie wrap, and that goes through here, so that, and there's a curve here, so that can be used on your handlebars. And then the actual unit slides, it just slides into the grooves in there, or there's another one here and it goes in here. So that is what I think I've decided on, having looked at my handlebars. I'm going to use this one. So when we come to rigging up my bike, we're going to use this for the handlebars, and we're going to need this lot for mounting the sensors onto the valves. So I just wanted to charge this before I went and started installing it on the bike, and I wasn't sure how this little magnetic thing was going to work. So if you put it on, it clips on nicely, but if you get it the wrong way around, it won't let you do that. So that's a nice little feature. So I've had a little bit of a play here to work out what's the best way that I want to install it here. So there's a little spring clip, and that goes at the bottom, and the unit slides from the top. I'm going to put the unit here somewhere. So all I'm going to do is slot that around there. There we go, that looks quite nice. So now all we need to do is get the sensor and install it into there. Every 5 months or so the unit's going to need to be charged, but because it's right here next to my power socket, all I need to do is attach this one into there, take the magnetic bottom and just connect it until it's charged. When it's fully charged, take it off. So actually I don't need to move that from there again, it can stay right there. The reason it lasts so long between charges is it's got an automatic movement sensor inside. So when you start riding, it comes alive, it does its job, put your bike back in the garage, it stops and then it turns itself off. Just a quick explanation about this spanner. We can see at one end, it's the spanner for the lock nut that goes on your valve. And then at the other end, this one fits in the bottom of the sensor, and what it does, it allows you to unscrew the cap. You can then change the battery and it lasts about a year or so. Screw the cap back on again. There's a little rubber ring in there, so go nice and tight. And there you go, you've got about another year worth of life of your sensor. Now that we've got the display mounted on the handlebars, the next thing we need to do is to install the tyre pressure sensor units on the actual valve. The first thing we're going to do is take the little nut and wind it onto the valve. Then we take the pressure sensor itself and I'm just going to put it on, but I'm not going to wind it too tight so that it's just resting in place, ready to go. And I'm going to do the same on the rear tyre as well. Now that I've got the two sensors ready, I can activate the display unit. The first thing we need to do is press the two buttons and hold them in 5 seconds. And now you can see the numbers going round and round in circles. So that's asking me to line up the first valve. So all I need to do is wind the sensor on, and there we go. It's measuring the pressure in the front tire. It is now asking me, can I go and do the rear tire? So I'm going to go and do that. And there we go, as simple as that. So now I've got pressure in the front tire and pressure in the rear tire. I've also got some temperature, 25 degrees in the front tire and 23 degrees in the second. You can also change the settings from degrees Fahrenheit to degrees Celsius. So this little unit has got a whole load of functions that are really nice and easy to use. The instructions are super clear. To set it all up was ridiculously simple. And then the last thing that I need to do before I forget is go and take the spanner and tighten up the locking nut that is on the sensor so that it doesn't run away. I've taken the manual and I went through the process of programming the unit so that its warning sensors for the high and the low pressure and the temperature are in here. It was very simple to do. There is a little bit of a chart in the instructions, and you just press the button on the side of the unit, press and hold it in, and then the chart will tell you the sequence of what is going to be displayed and which ones you can adjust the setting, and then you just adjust the setting on the side here with the up and down. At the end, press and hold the button, job done. One of the things that I really wanted to understand was what happens if I take the cap off and I put some air in. Do I then need to repair everything, or does the system carry on working? So we are here by the side of the road. I've got myself a pump. I'm going to go through the process of putting air in the tyre and see how the whole thing unfolds. So it seems to work really nice. You actually don't need to do anything. You can just assume it's a normal dust cap, carry on as you would at normal, put it back on, just use a little spanner to lock it nice and tight, and just carry on as normal. There is no pairing, no fiddling, no faffing. It is actually really simple. Hope some of you find that helpful. All the links for what you're going to need are in the description below. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, Ciao.